It's the Cornermen Radio Live with BARZINI. I want to shout out to the whole LDBC. We got a special guest, Julian Williams trainer, Stephen Breadman Edwards. It's a PA thing. It's a Philly thing. How's it going today, Breadman?
Everything's good. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing fine today, man. Morning is shining bright. But let's get into it, man. How's it going? I'm hearing that Julian Williams he has a fight to fight in the IBF title eliminator against Takeshi Inoue. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but is that fight really set in stone?
As far as I know, you know how the business of boxing goes, but I've been told that the fight should be happening around September, no later than October.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Because when they first reported it, they said it might be on August 4th. I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight because I want to see what's next for Julian Williams. So it's interesting. Have you got to study any film with this guy?
Once I got the letter from the IBF, I looked at him on YouTube. He's pretty good. I mean, you know, he's undefeated. He looks like he's kind of fast. He's a little explosive. Japan's producing some good fighters lately. So, you know, he's solid. He's a solid guy.
Yeah, and I noticed when Farmer fought that Japanese dude, you seen Farmer outclassed him, man. He got robbed in his decision, you know. But good thing now, like they putting justice in the air, and now he gets to fight for that title again. But it's crazy.
Yeah, well,
man.
That guy was on PEDs,
yeah.
So you know how that go, man. When you there's always a big problem in boxing. So they caught him taking drugs. So I'm glad they did that for Tevin. So hopefully, you know, everything's okay with the drug testing for this fight, and we'll see how it goes.
Right. I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. So, how's J-Rock doing? What else he been up to besides this boxing thing, man?
He's good, man. You know, after the fights, that was a tough fight that he had versus what's the Jamaican kid's name?
Nathaniel Gallimore.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. So he's been resting, you know, spending time with his daughter, you know, investing in properties. He do that. So I don't really bother guys when they don't have a fight. You know what I mean? He has some time to himself. We actually, you know, we're starting to shake out a little bit though, because I know the date will be getting announced pretty soon. Like you said, it was August, so I'm sure we're going to have a date really soon because we're in July right now. So so even if it's not August, something will be coming around September-ish, October-ish. So I'm just, you know, we're just shaking out a little bit right now, and then, you know, when he get the date, you know, you hit the ground running and you already in shape for camp.
Right. Yeah. My next question for you. I had the pleasure to interview J-Rock on my show a couple years ago, but So y'all going the IBF route for the title? Because I know J-Rock is ranked #1 in the WBC. So is he going the IBF route, or is he just weighing his options?
People say you can go a route, but here's the thing, BARZINI, we don't control who ranks us and who don't rank us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not really going any route. It's just whatever whoever ranks us, like the IBF put out a letter saying that they wanted him to fight this Takeshi Inoue guy. I never heard of the guy before the fight. So it's not like about who's ranking who and what route you going. It's whoever the IBF and the WBC you know, they kind of recognized Julian the most. Julian fought for a WBC Continentals title a few years back. And then the IBF, you know, they kind of recognized it. The WBO just ranked them number 3, which is, you know, that never really happened before. So, like, it's who's giving us the opportunity. You know what I mean? You really can't control the eliminators and all that kind of stuff. You know, whoever gives you the opportunity, you just have to take your opportunity. It's just, you know, God blessed us where we rank number 1 and 2 sanctioning bodies and number 3 in the other one. For whatever reason, the WBA don't show us no love. So, you know, it's not that we're not going to WBA or out. They just don't rank us. So it all depends on who decides to rank you.
Right. Man, it's interesting, man. They really giving J-Rock. But I noticed, didn't Nathaniel Gallimore was an IBF eliminator as well? Yeah.
I guess they making him fight tough, man. He gonna have to fight 2. I thought Nathaniel Gallimore was the eliminator too, but obviously they want him to fight another one. So, like I said, like you really can't pick your route. Whatever you get, you kind of get. So if we got to fight 2 fights, then that's just what it is.
Right. So, you know, I had numerous conversations, but you guys really planning for a title shot, the chance after this title eliminator. If you do, I'm not saying y'all looking past Takeshi Inoue, but y'all looking for a title shot right after this if y'all can get the opportunity.
Oh, obviously. Heck yeah, man. That's what you in boxing for.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna fight an eliminator to not fight a title shot. So yeah, that's what the goal is.
Okay. Because I always wanted to see, man. For years, man. Austin Trout and Julian Williams, man. I remember even when Austin Trout was the commentator on PBC and J-Rock fought, and I think Red MPA. I forgot who he fought. And they were having their back and forth. Yeah. And they were having their back and forth, even on Twitter videos, numerous videos. And I'm like, this is the fight. Before Austin Trout lost to Jermell, Jarrett Hurd, and Jermell, this is where Austin Trout was really heavily ranked in the 154 division. But I always wanted to see that. Why can't we get to see that matchup? I know Trout was refusing that fight for a while, so.
That's the thing, BARZINI. First of all, Austin Trout is a tough fighter, and he fights tough fights. I'm not, you know, but for whatever reason, he wasn't interested in the fight at that time, so we just moved on. You know what I mean? That's how boxing goes. You're not going. Can't stalk a guy. I thought we were going to fight in 2015, and it never happened. So we just moved on. You know, it's just the way boxing is. You know, Austin Trout had better options, and he just moved on. That's all. I'm not saying he ducked them or was scared, because he obviously fights tough fights. He just didn't fight them, and we just all went into another direction. The fight was presented to us, and we accepted it, but it just didn't happen. So now, I mean, it's in the rearview mirror. Like, if we would win the title, we would fight him, or, you know, maybe, you know, it would be under consideration. But right now, you know, Julian is a number 1 contender, and Trout is kind of behind us now. He just lost another title shot. So, like, it wouldn't be a viable fight for us at this particular time. We're not going to pass up an eliminator to fight for a title to fight a guy that we were going to fight 3 years ago. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense at this point. But it would have been a great fight a couple of years ago. We were all for it. We thought that fight with Quayla was going into, you know, the build up for the fight. They had him commentating the fight. So, you know, everything was kind of like planned, but he just went into a different direction. So we just said, all right, fine, you know, and we went into our own direction. It's just one of those fights that just never happened.
And another fight last year, I was even building up. I don't know if you got a chance to see, but soon as J-Rock had his comeback fight, I forgot the guy's name. I watched it, and Tony Harrison. I was like, man, this will be a great fight. I was hearing rumored that y'all were trying to make the fight happen. Why did that fight didn't happen and the Ishmael Smith fight came to fruition?
You know, man, a lot of stuff happened behind the scenes. I don't even know why. You know, that would be a great fight. It's like it's always talked about when you got two guys with the same company, around the same age, in the same division. I don't know. All I know is I got a call for Ishe Smith. We were going to fight Gallimore at the end of 2017, but they called us and said Ishe Smith is interested in fighting Julian, so this will be a better opportunity because he's a ex-world champion, and we took it and was like, all right, we'll fight Gallimore the one after that.
Right.
I'm sure Tony Harrison and Julian will fight one day. It's just right now that it's like really, how can I explain it? Like it's not really in the cards right now because we're about to fight an eliminator for the title. So like we can't control what the IBF order or whoever orders anything. So it's like, all right, that's a good fight, but right now like you only can fight one person at a time. But that's a great fight. Me and Tony actually talked about it. So maybe one of them win the title, maybe in a year or two they can fight. But right now we got Takeshi Inoue and then possibly Jarrett Hurd at the end of the year or be the first thing next year.
So since you brought up Jarrett Hurd, I have a great relationship. He's a good friend. Ernesto Rodriguez, Jarrett Hurd's trainer. We've been talking about this matchup for a while. What's your thoughts on Jarrett Hurd, and what do you think of him as a fighter?
Oh, man, he has a great team. His coach is real cool. We actually talked at the fight for the first time I met the team because Julian, you know, his last fight was on the last card, and we used the same kind of gloves. And ironically, they cut our gloves open to test them to make sure that everything was okay, comparing them to Jarrett Hurd's gloves because we both used the Everlast MX gloves in that fight.
Okay.
Jarrett Hurd got a good team, man. They got good coaches. You know, I don't have anything bad to say about anybody, man. I could tell they're real well put together. Hurd has improved a lot. You know, I know like a lot of the kids from the DMV area, and Hurd, like, he really wasn't one of the best amateurs coming out with the guys around Julian's age. The best amateurs were Alantez Fox, David Grayton, and Antoine Douglas. But Hurd has proved to be the best pro out of everybody. You know, he's improved. He's strong. He has good stamina. You know, he's a hell of a fighter. You know, I respect the kid. It'll be a good fight. It's definitely not a cherry picking title shot. Jarrett Hurd's no joke, man. He did a hell of a job with Lara. He seems like, you know, he gets stronger as the fight goes on. He's a big kid, you know, and he still keeps his stamina, you know what I mean? You know, he seems like a solid puncher, not a one-punch puncher, but a wear-you-down puncher. He wears guys down. He does a lot of little subtle things in the ring. I was really, really impressed with him in that Lara fight because Lara's not easy to fight, and Lara got a lot of experience. And I thought Lara buzzed him with a left hand, and he responded well. He's a tremendous fighter, man. He could be one of the top pound-for-pound guys in the world, maybe top 15, top 20. And he has a claim to be the best guy in the division because he unified. You know, when he fought Lara, a lot of guys didn't want to fight Lara. So I respect him, man. That's going to be a tough fight. If we fight him, it's going to be a really, really tough fight. And, you know, looking forward to it. That's what boxing is all about, you know, matching up with tough guys.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting, man? Like 3 years ago, like I remember when Lara was like a lot of people, nobody really was interested, was willing to jump at Lara first. You know, nobody wanted to step up to the plate, and I guess the Charlos had a breakout year last year. Then the Charlos, like Jermell, he became one of the most feared fighters. But for a long period of time, Lara was the most feared. You know, that's what in a lot of the media made it seem like, and the fighters not like Triple G didn't want to step up to the plate, and all these other scenarios. But it's interesting that Jarrett Hurd beat him, and I find it ironically. But my next question is, Breadman, is I thought this title eliminator would have got done by August, so we could have seen the Jarrett Hurd and Julian Williams, because I'm really looking forward to that fight.
Well, you know what, man? It might get done at the end of August. You know what I mean? You just know boxing. If it was going to be done in the beginning of August, it would be done by now. You know what I mean? We're in July 11th, July 10th. So, but whenever it gets done, man, hopefully, you know, we win the fight, which I think we will, and then you'll get to see the fight you want. You know?
Yeah.
But Jarrett Hurd's healing up right now anyway. You know what I mean? He had the shoulder issue, so he won't be ready till the end of the year. So it kind of fits perfectly, you know, because he just had the shoulder surgery. So if we were to fight him, it wouldn't be till December or maybe the beginning of next year anyway.
December. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? It just depends. To be honest with you, it depends on how this fight goes with Inoue. But you can't, like I said, a lot of times the fans get frustrated. But dates that are available, we don't have any control over that. And we also, you know, you can only fight one person at a time. So we got to get this guy out the way, and it'll be good because Philly and the D.C. area is only a 2-hour drive. So Maryland, you know what I mean? It'll be a lot of East Coast fans, and it'll be an excellent fight. I think it'll be a great fight.
That definitely, man. I was thinking on the card, it will be like since Lara's been calling out Jermell, Jermell versus Lara, and you and Julian Williams and Jarrett Hurd.
Man, you're a good matchmaker. You're a good matchmaker. Who knows, man? Who knows? It seems like I don't know if Jermell will fight Lara right this second though. That would be a risky fight going into you know, after, you know, if he thinks he's going to get a unification fight, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for him, but I don't know if he will fight Lara right now, you know, because he just had a tough fight with Trout, and Lara's a little bit slicker than Trout. So I don't know. You know what I mean? You have to – I just know boxing, and, you know, if you got a real big fight coming up, people usually don't take those kind of chances.
But you know what's so funny about that scenario? Me and Ernest have been talking about it for like the longest. I don't know how long we've been talking about it. And we were saying, like, why is always Lara calling out Jermell? And Jermell is, like, not enthusiastic about fighting Erislandy Lara. You know what I mean? And they keep, at first time it was true they were on the same team. They were both with Ronnie Shields. They're not with Ronnie Shields anymore. He left, 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And I don't even know if they speak the same language because I know Lara speaks Spanish and the Charlo speak English. So I'm like, how can you be that much of a good friends?
Well, obviously, Lara don't think they that much good friends. But who knows? You know, people... You know, it's boxing. One thing about boxing, man, you got to kind of just be humble sometime and just watch people's actions. You know, because, like, fighters, even though we may think a fighter is better than another fighter, fighters kind of feel who they can beat and who they can't beat. And despite what people say, everybody knows who will give them some trouble and who don't. You know what I mean? And Lara... You know, he's just not an easy guy to fight. He's just not. I don't know. I think Jermell would be the favorite if they fought. But after the last fight, after Trout gave him trouble with some good boxing, and Lara is a little older than them, so when they spar, I assume he probably got the better of it when they were coming up. So they may be like, man, we don't need that fight. Who knows? You never know. Jermell's gotten a lot better though. So I can't really speak on that, but I don't know if that's the kind of doubleheader that'll happen, because that would be a risky fight for Jermell if he expects to get a unification fight, especially Lara coming off a loss. That would be real big risk, man. Most managers or advisors or whatever, they probably wouldn't take that fight right this second.
But it's funny that I just there's nobody left. If J-Rock is fighting the IBF title eliminated this year and possibly fighting Jarrett Hurd next, he's busy. Jermell beat a lot of people. Jarrett Hurd beat everybody. Who else is there? It's not much.
Jermell haven't fought Tony Harrison yet.
Yeah. But is anybody going to look forward to that fight after?
Bro, let me tell you something, man, about the Twitter and the media. Everybody dismisses fights, right? But a fight is a fight. You never know what happened when two men get in the ring. Sometimes a dude could be having a good day and you could be having a bad day. Tony Harrison's not a bum. Who thought that Trout would give Jermell that kind of fight? You know what I mean? Trout did an excellent job. People thought Trout was going to get killed.
He definitely. Yeah, he did do it.
I thought Trout won like 5 or 6 rounds. So you never know. Yeah, you never know how a fight is going to go. People can dismiss it sitting behind the keyboard, but you don't know how a fight going to go, man. I didn't think Jermell would clip Lubin in 1 round. Anything can happen. Tony Harrison is a good fight. It's a lot of dudes that can fight. Now, how about the dude Jack Koke that Andrade fought? I watched that fight, man. That dude could fight.
Yeah, he can fight.
He did
definitely
good.
Gave Andrade a fight.
He gave Andrade a hell of a fight.
The most competitive fight I've ever seen Andrade in.
Exactly. But people always try to dismiss an opponent like, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk, man. If a dude train and he do the right thing and he got a good game plan, it's the only guys that's dominating top-level guys, and is just Lomachenko and Crawford. Everybody else, if you fight a dude that's in the prime and a dude can fight and he knows what he's doing, you're going to have some tough fight. Look at Danny Jacobs and Selecki. It's boxing, so it ain't no guarantee that Jermell going to knock Tony Harrison out. Tony Harrison got a good jab. He come from a fighting city. He knows what he's doing. He's putting his career back together. You got guys that can fight. Michel Soro, the black French dude, he could fight. Brian Castano can fight. Brian Castano's a dude from the WBA. Yeah, so I don't never say it's not nobody out there for people to fight. If you looking for a fight, you can fight. The dude Selecki that just fought Jacobs, that joker could fight. So it really depends. Nobody thought Jarrett Hurd was gonna come out of nowhere like this. So Jermell has people to fight. You just got to just figure out who he wants to fight.
Yeah, I just hope he fight Lara, because that would make it much juicier. Because that situation, I know a lot of people always wanted to see that. But me being a matchmaker, I thought about Austin Trout and Tony Harrison. I was like, man, that's a good fight. You know what I mean? And then the winner of that, winner of that could probably get one of these top 10 fighters or champions, whatever the case might be. I really want to see.
That's another good fight.
Yeah, I love that matchup. For Tony, I want to see Tony have J-Rock. J-Rock had a nice build up. He had that first guy, I forgot his name. Then he had Ishe Smith.
Joshua Conley. Then Ishe, and then Gallimore.
Gallimore. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that for Tony too. So that's why I kind of dismissed that fight, because I was like, let's see Tony against a little bit more. Like the J-Rock fight, I love that fight. Like I told you before, love that fight. Even Tony told me, he loves that fight. So I want to see Tony and Trout, man. That would be a really excellent bout, man, if they can make
Tony
happen,
and Gallimore would be a good fight.
Yeah, that would be a good fight too.
Be a good
Even
fight.
Gallimore and Lubin.
Gallimore probably got exposed a little bit. I don't know how he's going to respond, because he thought he had a different kind of view of himself. You got to see how a guy responds when he's that cocky and he loses. You know what I mean? Everybody don't respond well. So I'll be curious to see how he responds. But, he's a capable fighter. I just think he got to get himself together mentally.
And this is not his first loss, so I'm sure he bounced
back. No, it's
but
not. He just got to just get himself together mentally, you know what I mean? Because before the fight, he had, this view of Julian like he was just going to blow on him and he was going to fall. And it didn't work out like that. You know what I mean? It was like, he kept talking about the Charlo fight. And, I never said anything. I don't get into no back and forth with fighter, but I was glad he was talking about the Charlo fight because I'm said, well, you're not Charlo. You can't compare what another man did to somebody to what you can't get credit for what somebody else did, and he just thought Julian was a chump. And when he got into the fight, he realized that Julian wasn't scared of him. And I think it kind of destroyed them mentally. So I would be curious to see how he's going to look coming back.
But one thing I could say, Nathaniel Gallimore made that fight real interesting with his trash talk. It made it really looking forward to that fight.
Everybody was looking forward. Let me tell you what's funny. The odds, he was talking so much shit, the odds went from him being the underdog to him being the favorite because everybody started believing that he was just going to walk Julian and knock him out within 2 rounds.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So it was interesting, man. Everybody was on Twitter. I got guys that's experts. It was like, he going to stop J-Rock. He going to do this. He going to do that. So I was actually happy that he was talking shit like that because that's easier for motivation. That means I don't have to motivate Julian. He gets motivated because he hears this guy talking so much. So that was cool. I didn't mind it at all.
Why did J-Rock bite? Because he usually bite. He didn't bite back. He just said, I'm going to just do it in the ring. Fuck the talking.
I was just get a little bit older, man, just get a little more mature. And I told him, I said, man, if dudes don't think highly of you as a fighter, that's good. Because that means he's letting his guard down. You're supposed to think highly of everybody. So he didn't, and he brought the Fruity Pebbles, and he thought Julian was, he based everything off of the Charlo fight. But, I always say, he brought all of that stuff out, and he based everything off the Charlo fight. And I always say, I don't look at the results of a fight. I look at what happened during the fight. And if you see what happened during the fight, you can see that Julian had a high skill level, and he was, he was winning rounds. He was doing his thing against Charlo. He just got hit with a great shot. Charlo's a big puncher. So Gallimore was basing everything off of the result of the fight instead of actually what happened during the fight. Because anybody that watched the fight know that it was a well-fought fight with 2 highly skilled guys. And I just knew Gallimore didn't have the skill level to beat Julian. But, people can say whatever they want to say. You still got to prove it in the ring at the end of the day.
Right.
So, it was cool, though, man. He really talked the fight up. It was good for the promotion. A lot of people tuned in. The crowd was into it. The social media was into it because he really did a good job of talking it up. And I just told Julian just to chill out, be quiet, save all your energy for the ring. And that's what he did.
Yo, it was so interesting. It was like, because my whole family is Jamaican, right? So, and I'm from Philly. So, yo, I was like, damn, it's Philly against Jamaica? Like, damn, dog. Like, damn, man. And so I'm like, damn, I'm conflicted about this situation. But I loved it. I enjoyed it. That's why I never said who would win. I just said, yo, man, it's a 50-50. Whoever wins, best man win, whatever the case might be, man. But 154, man, is my favorite division, man. I think a lot of people need to start looking at the 154 division like, yo, this is the real deal, man. You got a lot of killers in here, so I'm really excited.
This year, I meant, with Hurd and Lara having a big unification fight, and you got the guy Munguia, who just came around, who just beat Saddam
Jaime
Ali.
Munguia. Yeah.
So, and then, Julian and Gallimore had a real good fight for contenders. And you still got guys like Soro, Castano, Trout, Gaucher, Lubin, Harrison. So some good fighters at 154, man. Hopefully everybody can unify by 2019, 2020. You have one champion.
How long do you think J-Rock can make the weight for a 154?
I don't know, man.
I'm not no small guy.
No. I don't know, man. Hopefully 3-4 more fights. We got to see. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
So who's the other fighters that you have that's you training? I know you had Kyron Davis. Yeah.
And a kid by the name of Romeo Cuco Cruz. He's 2-0. He's actually fighting August the 11th.
Oh, okay. Wow. So
and he fights at junior featherweight.
Oh, okay. Say, how is he looking? He's
good, man. Real hard worker. He gets a lot of work with Stephen Fulton, Christian Cardo. He's good. Good kid, bro. He's strong. He works hard. He's a good puncher. He's just my kind of guy, man. He can fight his butt off.
Wow, man. That's interesting, man. So I see Kyron Davis starting to do the music thing. What's your thoughts on that?
He needs a little time off. Hey, man, boxing is a tough sport. You know what I mean? Right. I think he'll be back pretty soon. You know, sometimes you just need some time to reflect on some things. He's a good kid, man. You know, I got a good relationship with all my fighters. So if a kid comes to me tomorrow and say that they don't want to fight no more, that's fine. I think he still has some fight left in him. You know, sometimes you just got to take some time to reflect.
Right. Oh, okay. So your gym is based in Philly or is it somewhere in PA?
No, it's in Philly. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Man,
yep.
Is there a lot of Philly journalists out here?
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. I can't really say if it is or it's not. You know, I kind of do my own thing. I really don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I noticed it's not too much. You know what I mean? We got Raging Bay, but she based off in Phoenix. And then you got, I think T Street. I don't know if you ever heard of him. And shit, I think he's from Philly, too. So,
okay.
But, yeah, man, Breadman, I don't want to talk your ear off. It's great having you on, man. It's a real pleasure having you on. I enjoy this conversation, man. Can you give out your social media so the fans can follow you, man? You should be a commentator the way you talk boxing, man.
Is that what's on Twitter? Breadman Boxing. And Instagram is the Breadman. The bread_man. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, Breadman. You have a blessed day. Stay
all right,
safe
you
out
too,
here.
man. Thanks for the support.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
All right, thank you.